All right, well, we'll give this a try again. It's a little late into the event, still going on, lots of patriotic music. I'm in downtown Sandusky. I tried recording through, or broadcasting through Twitch, but the app just kept losing the signal or something here. But I'm gonna go on a little bike ride with you all. Hi. I'm very festive. I hope the mic's not too much of a potato. Trying to get it set up real quick here before too much time is lost. I had some pizza, as you do on Independence Day. And we'll just take a quick tour through. Still a lot of people in very summery and patriotic clothing. And at downtown Sandusky here, we're going to go on the streets and the sidewalks. For a tractor, some guns, lots of fair food, you know, hats and shirts and all sorts of swag. It's been a really awesome day. There was the marching band out here, some live performers. There was a kids bike parade, so that was a lot of fun for them to do. Different, you know, like political organizations and the Bingo Sam's Club is out here even. Oh, pardon me, can I get through here? Sorry.
No, you're all good.
Thank you, pardon me. So lots of fun, various candidates out. I was touring the different landmarks that are downtown too. We'll go past them as well, boy with the boot. Of course, we have the Merry-Go-Round Museum over here. I have to swoop. My camera's at a little bit of an angle because of how it's perched on the handlebars. But I'll turn around and we'll give it a look. So, as you can see over here, there's the Merry-Go-Round Museum. And we'll go past the courthouse, and that has a couple other landmarks. I sent the drone up earlier to take a lot of photos and things. Let me see if I can get this to equal out a little bit better here. So there's the boy with the boot, and behind that is the Erie County Courthouse. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that. I accidentally sausage fingered the side that stopped the recording. But we're still going. I pretty much picked up where we left off. They have Cameo Pizza, local pizza place here. There's the kids here at the bouncy house. There's face painting too, lots of fun. Free haircuts. Of course, you know, there's going to be the Cedar Point fireworks, which if you're at Cedar Point, you can get a pretty good seat there for it, but you can still see it from downtown. That'll be really busy. I won't be going to Cedar Point for fireworks tonight. I'll show you where we're at because I'll obviously be recording that too, or at least little snippets of it. I'm going off-road. The courthouse is over to our left.
Oh, it is
is a bounce house.
So this is coming down Columbus, and in fact, I'll continue down this way because we already went back and forth a little bit. So you've seen the tents and the things that are offered here. We have a couple organizations and churches as well that are out for the day, looking to promote themselves, grow their communities, show off their services, you know, as you do. What I really enjoy about the area is that, well, number one, a lot of what you're seeing has been recently redeveloped. There's a big ribbon cutting ceremony for all the work downtown here last week. The sidewalks are widened, as you can see here. Lots of renovation. Of course, it leads down to the lake. But there's obviously, you know, there's history to this place. It's 200 years old, and as you can tell, like, there's just all makes and models here. Ooh. Well, gotta get that. Put too much forward pressure on my handlebars, everyone. There we go. So we got that. Let's twist this. And we're gonna get this where I need it. And clamp that down again. Let's get this. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, before I interrupted myself, all makes and models here. It's lovely. So very natural. We're coming up. I'll see if I can angle the handlebars, but you can see the Jet Express over here. That takes people to the Lake Erie Islands. There you go. You should be able to see it. Oh, pardon me, guys. I'm going to come down the ramp here.
No, watch out. Ryder, watch out.
Pardon me.
Counseling for someone.
We have a very lovely bike path, goes along the lake. Now I'm taking you to Jackson Street Pier. This was redone, oh geez, several years ago. There's a lot of events here, movie nights, concerts. It used to be all parking lot, which wasn't necessarily bad itself because people would park here for Jet Express and other things. It was sort of turned into a mixed use area. There's various weddings and things that happen, block parties. In the winter time, there's a skating rink that they set up as well. You can see up here the stage is still set from the drum group that was out here performing. And a bump. Ooh. But check out the view you get. You just park down here. There's no parking fee. It's a very inexpensive place to live, and so many sites and parks and things. Pardon me. Now up ahead is usually where a party boat known as the Good Time Docks goes out into the bay so you can dance and drink, and also the Pele Islander, which is a ferry that'll take you across the lake to Canada. Let's go check out what's going on. Remember to take your hats off, everyone. Woo! There we go. You know, sometimes whether or not you have to do something, you're measured by what you don't have to do, by what you're willing to do. And I know for a lot of people this is, I don't know, it's contentious one way or the other. You feel like you're winning or you feel like you're losing. There's all sorts of people out there with all kinds of feelings. But, I don't know, to me there's still a few things that everyone can rally behind. In fact, if there is a common rally point, it holds more meaning, right? More accountability for any party that either feels like they're ahead or aggrieved. So, you know, it's kind of like returning a shopping cart. You don't have to. There's no legal compulsion. No, you know, you're not going to get arrested for it. Neither will you get any kind of reward. But I don't know, you have a moment like that, national anthem is sung, take your hat off, just reflect for a moment. And if things are bad, think about how can you make them better? If things are good, how can you keep it up? How can you improve it? You know, how can we continue to have discourse and civility? So, I don't know. One guy in Ohio's opinion. But you have events like this, you know, the city steps up, and obviously, you know, paid through taxes and everything, and charitable contributions as well by companies and individuals, and oh, this tree's gonna get me. There's a couple like public trusts as well that will sponsor things. But you know, at this event, well, last night was a free concert, the drum concert, and then there's all the music going on here, free haircuts, because there's an adult education class through the high school that teaches people haircutting, or I guess that's like to be an aesthetician. So there's free haircuts offered. So if you're a family that's kind of, you know, if you're looking for resources, again, there was churches and charities. You can get your haircut or a kid's haircut or something if you needed to as well. You know, no questions asked. Everyone's here. There's no judgment. And everything has just been very festive and very wonderful. And if you all, for whatever reason, weren't able to get out, in fact, here, I'll switch. We're going past the Sandusky Register. local newspaper here. This is on the way ahead of us. It will be the Merry-Go-Round Museum. But, you know, if you weren't able to get out to your local, your own local celebration, or maybe you live in a small town, or maybe you're not feeling well, or I don't know, you have concerns about going out for one reason or another. If this can inspire you, you know, give you a little hope. It's often said in the negative, you know, almost as an insult, you know, oh, go touch grass or whatever. The Merry-Go-Round Museum's ahead of us, if you see over here. But if I can do that on your all's behalf and show you, you know, what's going on, at least in this corner, this little small corner of a great big world, then I hope it uplifts your spirits and it gives you some motivation, or it encourages you that there's all kinds of people out here celebrating all kinds of things and finding common points. Or for people who want to give, there's plenty they can give to, and people who need, there's plenty who are willing to offer fun events or resources. But this is really great. Here's another landmark here. There's the big landscape clock. And then over there, one of the big nurseries in town, Barnes, is having a plant sale. I think they might work with the local greenhouse. There's a city greenhouse. That they do some fundraising by selling plants, or you can kind of go through them and rent plants for events and things. It's really nice. You're good, you're good.
I need a song about the West Coast. I'm going to be performing here in California. Go ahead and write me a song. I'll call you back in an hour.
Nice kettle corn.
Sure you can. I'll talk to you in an hour. An hour later, Al goes and calls his buddy.
Root beer floats.
And a whole new song written for him called California, Here I Come. And it's been sung ever since. We do it like this.
We have some live entertainment. I'm going to swoop us around.
I've been away from you. I can't wait till I get going. Even now I'm starting to call. California, here I come. Right back where I started from. Where bowers of flowers bloom in the spring. Each morning at dawn and birdies singing everything a sun-kissed miss said don't be late. That's why I can hardly wait. Open up that golden gate. California, here I come.
Alright, we have some ragtime piano. Bass and banjo too, I believe. this brings us back around to Columbus, and we'll make a big circle because I'm going to take us past a couple other landmarks. Up ahead, on the right, you see the Sandusky Library. Which was originally built through philanthropy by Andrew Carnegie. To our right is the courthouse, just as a sense of where we're going. And then over here is the War Memorial Park. We'll cross the street and I'll pan around. I'll take the camera out of its mount and I'll pan around. If you or any family were in military service, this would be kind of a place of peace and reflection, good memories or bad, or if not bad, I mean maybe mournful. All right, whoop. Let's get you out of here. So we go across. POW MIA, World War II, Korean, and then there's a very nice fountain right over here. Plenty of benches. And while the fountain shuts off in the winter, you can still come out here too, and if there's some peace you find in a gentle snowfall, you can find it. But there's the courthouse, beyond that's the gazebo where we just were, where the music is playing. Again, to give you an idea of things. That area where all the festivities are taking place is called Washington Park, because it's on Washington Street. And to our left, I'll show it off real quick with a little dip. Whoop, no, maybe not, maybe not. To our left is the Merry-Go-Round Museum, again, just so you know where we're at. All right, we're gonna briskly cross. Looks like everyone's getting ready to close up. It's been a fun afternoon.
Yeah.
Pardon. But you don't even need a festivity to come and enjoy yourself. Again, plenty of benches and trees. There's the fountain. Boy with the boot. I'll park in front of it and show it off again. There we go. So penning across, whoops. Behind the courthouse would be the library we just passed. And we come over, there's an Episcopal church over that way, kind of past and behind the gazebo. That's the intersection there of Washington and Columbus as we come across. Behind us, behind the boy with the boot, is that giant landscape clock. Beyond the lighthouse you see there is a firefighters memorial, and then behind the bushes over there is a police officer memorial as well. So we have military, and then we have some first responders. We have, like, this is the sort of the mascot of the city, is the boy with the boot. It's been here for a long time. It's on the official city seal. That is a replica just because the original over time, you know, could break down. And in fact, interestingly enough, for as much as it's a mascot, it was actually purchased through a catalog. I want to say the Sears catalog. And there's actually a couple other cities that have a boy with the boot too as their mascot. So we're not the only ones. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? We have this park, the other responders, whole lot of churches around here, all built out of limestone because this area is very rich in it. It has, I want to say it's Devanian, something like that. It's a Devanian limestone. It's a very, very good limestone, and there's a quarry down 250 called Wagner. Well, it used to be anyway. And so a lot of that was quarried, and so most of the buildings around here, churches and commercial buildings, are made of the limestone you'll find in the area. Super high quality. Of course, this place was very active. Front and center during the last ice age. It's how we have the carve-outs of the Great Lakes. And in fact, if you go to Kelly's Island, there's you can see glacial grooves. There's a little park there where you can see where the ice scraped across the limestone, and it's still there. And that could be a cool field trip too. This is kind of recent. Some chessboards downtown, so you can come down and play. And beyond that, you can see just ahead, we'll pass by, that's the Little Red Wagon. That's been here for a while. Various organizations use it for fundraising. So you can come and sell popcorn and drinks out of it, and maybe you want to do some fundraising for, I don't know, your church, or if you're a part of a nonprofit or something, you can sell popcorn to park goers. So it's not just quaint for the sake of being quaint. It does good stuff for the community too. Good popcorn. You can see from all the new concrete as well. This is where all that construction has been done, the widening of the sidewalks that we talked about earlier. And then I reckon what we could do, the last thing, because it'll just take a minute or so to get there, and it's a good trip along the way. We'll go down Columbus one more time. I'll take you to Shoreline Park. Shoreline Park is, well, you get what it says on the tin. It's right by the shore. Beautiful sunsets on the pier. In fact, you probably even saw some. It's public fishing. You don't need a license. You can just show up, tackle box, and maybe you'll get some perch or catfish or a lot of sheep's head. Actually, we're going to turn down Market. Oh, in fact, I can even take you past where the Hero Zone used to be before merging with the Pop Shop here. So if we look across the street here, Noble Axes over here, it's an axe throwing bar. A lot of fun and a lot of memories from when that was the game store. I guess we'll cross the street here since we're gonna have to get closer and closer to the lake anyway. But a lot, all these are just like little businesses of different varieties. Some have been transformed into apartments. There's been some renovation over the past couple years in general, but there's a family, the Hographies, that really started, they invested a lot. The gentleman of the married couple grew up in Bay Village. Wait, Bay Village, Bayview? I'm mixing it up, sorry. And anyway, he went on to go do some bioscience company in California, and he ended up selling it. And when he moved back to Ohio, he invested in a lot of the buildings in downtown because it wasn't exactly crumbling, but I mean, it was historic. But that's that's kind of like saying, oh, this house is quaint, or it's a fixer-upper. It's an investment opportunity. Downtown was an investment opportunity, and this gentleman came in and bought up several of the buildings and started doing just that. And it was about that time anyway that I had moved out. My own landlord had passed away, which was very sad because Mr. Huntley, Mr. Huntley, great guy. In fact, he knew my grandparents. And so when you hear stories of your grandparents from, when they were your age, you say, oh my gosh, old people used to be young people like us and do the same dumb stuff like race up and down the streets or whatever, right? So that was fun. And then, you know, he was a bit of a business mentor as well, because the building I used to be in, and that's now Noble Axes, was a dry cleaning facility. So he owned some businesses in the area too, and he worked with me, gave me great advice. Great guy. Pardon me, I'm going to pass on the left. Thank you. Have a good day. Boy, I hope the wind isn't killing y'all. There should be some sound buffering on the mic, but I don't know how it's going to turn out until I put it into the video editor. But we're already here, and we're at Mac Iron Works, but across from that is Shoreline Park. And next to it is the Sandusky Yacht Club. Looks like they have a bouncy castle, and of course they offer their members, like there's a pool, and they do some live entertainment on Fridays, I want to say. Oh, thank you. Lots of geese. In fact, you can still see. Now, these used to be goslings not too long ago. Little yellow guys. Little yellow puffballs. This is probably the last of the eggs to hatch because they're still in there going from yellow into their brown down. But you can see some of the smaller ones you see the two in the back there. Those would be the young adults, so their plumage is already changed where they're getting the white stripe and the black necks. So these little guys over here will get that here soon enough as they waddle around and eat grass. Be prepared to be hissed at, and I mean if you tease them, of course they might try to bite you, but they generally aren't too bad. And you're not supposed to feed them. Most people at the parks don't feed them, but there's a couple that do. So if you're downtown in a car, watch out, because they will at times, they'll also just cross the street as a family group. So you should wait for them to finish. Don't be in too much of a rush. Now this area, even before all the downtown stuff, had a wetlands restoration to it, and now this used to be some big like some slips for some Lake Erie ships. I'll show you the sign here. If that, can you all see it? Yeah, hopefully you can. So this was turned into, oh, you know what, that's why it's kind of gunked up. The fountain's off. Both of the fountains are off. I wonder what happened. Well, so there's some algae going because of the lake kind of pushes everything up to the shore. There's usually fountains going to keep things aerated. But yeah, these used to be big docks. Things over time have been rejuvenated, replenished. Hi, Oriole. I'm not going to hurt you. You can stay there. He's flying right beside me for a little bit. So it's nice, lots of marsh grasses and things. I'm sad because here, right here in the corner where the camera's pointed, there used to be a tree, kind of a scrubby little tree, growing out over the water, and water snakes, non-venomous, but water snakes would swim around, cool off if they needed to, or go hunting during the day. Oh, hi, butterfly. And then, not by night, but if they wanted to get a break, they would slither into the boughs of the tree, and it would almost look like garland hanging off of the tree. because you just have, like, I don't know, about a dozen of these, these Lake Erie water snakes just kind of drooped in there, sleeping, sunning, warming up, doing their thing before it was time for them to go slithering again. All right. A couple dead fish, as you do. You get that living by the lake. So there's some of the ships from the yacht club. I love reading the names on them. Some of them are witty. Some of them you go, oh, okay, that's cool. When we get to the corner here, because we'll turn around, I'll take the phone out and we'll pan it again. And I'll give you another little tour of what's where. Because when you're downtown like this, again, you can see just about everything. All right, here we go. So we start, well, back that way. So that's the yacht club. And then as we're panning around, you can start seeing Cedar Point off in the distance. In fact, now that I'm holding it, I can even zoom in a little bit here. Woo! There's the Millennium Force. Another coasters here. Gorgeous day. I know I'm staying vertical. It is what it is. Lots of sailboats and motorboats out. Now, we're looking across Sandusky Bay. We're not looking at Canada. In fact, if we look over this way, so there's the coal docks. And in fact, it might be a little difficult. I'll try zooming in. There's actually an ore ship. There's an ore ship that's docked at the coal docks. And as we come around this way, keep looking at the horizon. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. Enhance. I can't quite see it. There's usually a plume of steam coming up, and that's from the Davis-Besse nuclear power plant. And we can also look across the bay at the Edison Bridge. You can see it better at night. And so that would take you over to Port Clinton, Catawba Island. Jackson Street Pier is over by where that large brick building is. And where you see the trees, that's the end of the drive at the first portion of Shoreline. So you can see where we've gone so far. By the way, I got my camera bag with me. Got a little flag waving. We're good to go. Gorgeous day. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's mount you back on the bike. Tighten this up. I'm doing this to give you some entertainment. So hello. You get the nice sloshing of the waves. And let's continue. You know what? I think there's one other place we could go. One more. What do you say? One more place? One more place. Why not? Now, obviously, there's more to downtown than even what I've shown you. What I've shown you is the big and obvious stuff, which is good, but I don't want you to think that this is everything, or if you watch this video, that that's it. Okay, Sandusky's quaint. It's it's cozy, right? Just like a house can be cozy or a fixer-upper. There's so much more. There's historical markers in so many locations. Lots of parks, as I said, everywhere. Lots of ma and pa small businesses. If you like supporting small business, you can do that here. In fact, I'm on a new bike, and I bought this bike through a local small business. All right, we're coming of Shoreline Park, where we originally turned in. You can see a little bit of the sculptures I could dip. Now we're getting back on the bike trail. We're going past the yacht club. I'm going to take you to the last part, well, the next part of the city, not the last part. The next part of the city that's getting renovated, and that's going to be down at an area called Battery Park. It's not called Battery Park because it's sponsored by Duracell. Battery Park, going back to the War of 1812, there's history on Lake Erie regarding that. I'd urge you to look it up. It's pretty interesting. To any of you who are watching from Canada, hello, and I'm glad that we have an international peace monument at Put-in Bay. We are getting closer to Cedar Point too. I might be able to pan around for that. So anyway, at the Battery Park, thank you. Battery Park has a marina, and well, there's a little playground and park area. There was a restaurant as well, but just weren't able to hold on to a lot of them. So all this is getting renovated. Oh, real quick, over to the side here, that's the Maritime Museum. So we have a merry-go-round museum and a maritime museum, which I should go in there sometime. If I've been in there, it's been a while. I don't know if they have anything. It didn't happen in Lake Erie, but you know, the legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the great lake they call Gitche Gumee. Let's get back on the path. So a lot of this, the tennis courts, the marina area proper, it's all getting redeveloped into condos and businesses. As you can imagine, there are people who say, yes, this is great, and there's a lot of people who say, really? More condos that a lot of us can't afford to live in? Take, you know, whatever you will, take of it. Opportunities for small businesses. Now, this is nice. This is a free public skate park. This was recently renovated as well. Not that it was like bad and super janky before, but it's so much better now. And then we'll do a pan. There's more marinas, as you can imagine, here. We're going across the skate park. You can see Cedar Point in the distance. There's a sailing club and also a kids learn to sail club that operates out of there too. Tennis courts. And then over here used to be, well, it still is the police station, but this has been renovated because City Hall used to be over here too. And now City Hall is closer to the corner of Washington and Columbus. We passed by it once or twice. So there we go. As I refasten this, we spent about, what, 45 minutes taking a tour. I'll have fun editing this in my software, but lots going on. Every Friday during the summer downtown is an old-fashioned car show. So if you like muscle cars or just, you know, old-timey, you know, from Model Ts to the muscle cars of the 50s and 60s, there's car shows. They're free, right? You just walk through it. Of course, before that, kind of an unofficial kickoff to summer is Ohio Bike Week. That I didn't quite do a tour the same way as I did here for Independence Day, but that's on Jackson Street Pier, and a couple other streets are closed off for that. Also downtown for kids, there's a couple different things. There's a safety fair in the springtime. Different organizations come out to promote safety, and you know, there's like the health department will do some free health screenings and like lead blood tests for kids and stuff. That does have an admission, but it's you got to donate a can of food because it goes to people in need. There's some really good organizations for that around here. One's called Care and Share. There's also Victory Kitchen, which does well, and if I recall correctly, at the end of every season, the city collects the change that has been thrown into the Boy with the Boot fountain. And I think Cedar Point has been doing this for the past several years as well. They'll collect change with certain the fountains, and they'll donate it to Victory Kitchen because it's a facility for people who need meals, and it also has a shower facility. So it helps out a lot of people. You know, of course, during like Thanksgiving and stuff, they give out turkeys to families too. All right, ooh, kind of a bump. Ugh. We're gonna go down to the water once more. Water way to end a video, huh? Once more, Cedar Point, you can see we got a little closer to it than we were before. We can still go forward, benches if you just want to sit by the lake, if you want to sit and fish. More yacht club docking. Looks like there's a really big yacht down here as well. Love, love, love the big summer clouds as well. Oh my gosh, just mountains in the sky. Gorgeous. So if you can't tell, I'm a fan of the area. I try and pay attention to what happens here. You know, who is who, what's what. You know, where's opportunities for people who want to come here to visit, who want to come here to live, and showcase that it's a really good town. There's a lot of good stuff that happens here. So there we go. We went from kind of one end to the other. Merry-Go-Round Museum to the Maritime Museum. It's a pretty good. So we're at the 40. That's a bump. That's a bump. As we're at the 45-minute mark, I think that's a pretty good video. If you enjoyed it, you enjoyed the tour. I guess this is where I say leave a like. Leave a like, share. If you have memories of Sandusky that are new or old, I would love, you know, not that I'm anyone official in town, but I would love to hear them. I would love for you to share them, and hopefully they're good memories. And you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to do one last thing. Well, I can't get enough. To be right here, you see where it's all filled in. This is where the safety fair is held. There used to be like a public wave action pool that was here. I have memories of going there when I was a kid. But anyway, yeah, if you have a lot of memories, or even just one, again, new or old, please share them. And I hope that you can find adventure in life. For those of you who are tabletop role players of any variety, could be, you know, you want to go cyberpunk and you want to go sci-fi, cool. If you want to go fantasy, there's so much that when you go out, just go to your hometown, not even this one. But there's plenty of adventure ideas, or you can make characters based off of people who are currently, you know, in your city, business owners or politicians or whatever else, or people who were at some point in time. You know, take a little bike path project, and suddenly this becomes a contentious quest because the king wants to, you know, redo the King's Road. and a lot of people think that it's a bad idea. It's a waste of, I don't know, of the peasant tax money, or it's done to try and prevent banditry or something, right? Take something you know, and even if you're playing with other people in town, there's a good chance they won't even know that you're making a parallel to whatever it is that you're focusing on. Anyway, take care, everyone. I don't want to keep rambling. Maybe there could be other videos to come if you like this one. But yeah, I'm going to go home and get some rest because there's fireworks later. Take care.